All right, so this is insane. I actually, I'm not kidding. When I saw the news beginning to trend that there were shots fired near Trump, I said, no way. My instinct was just to go, no way. Fake news. I'm not going to retweet this. I'm not going to share it because I thought it was one of these, it was a trap. And they wanted conservatives to all start sharing it and be dramatic and say it's another assassination attempt, all for them to be like, oh no, it was just a shooting nearby Trump. And I kept refreshing, and some people were like, yes, well, Trump was near the shooting, but he wasn't involved in it. I just said, no way, I'm not going to share this. I also, in the back of my mind, said there's no way that we just did this episode on Friday where I signaled to the public that Trump was in danger. In fact, the episode was entitled, Trump's Campaign is in Danger. And I talked about the last assassination attempt having been 62 days ago, which they have conveniently memory hold, which has made me suddenly recognize that these people are going to try to kill him again. They are not going to allow Donald Trump to be president. There's no way. It's very obvious what these people want. These people want war, and Donald Trump is not the man for it. So I said, it just couldn't be that I did this episode on Friday. And fast forward to Sunday, and someone actually took another attempt on this man's life. And then I just thought it's just not plausible that they would be this brazen, that again, in broad daylight, they would try to shoot at Donald Trump. But guess what, guys? I was wrong. That is exactly what happened this time on a golf course. I'm going to give you all of the details, plus tell you what my suspicion is that you're not going to hear on the mainstream media because they're all so highbrow. Oh, we can't dabble into conspiracy unless it's about Iran. Let's all just put out there ahead of time that it's Iran, which unbelievably neocons are already doing. Has me super fired up. That's what we have coming up on CANDACE. All right, so let's just start with the details here. In case you didn't know, President Trump owns a golf club in West Palm Beach, Florida, and he was golfing there today. He had planned to golf with his buddy, a billionaire, who raised a ton of money for him, named Steve Witkoff. At about the fifth hole, so the story goes, 4 shots rang out. Our understanding right now is that those shots were actually fired from Trump's Secret Service team, who spotted a man with a gun in the clearing. Saw a man actually lining up a shot with a scope on Donald Trump. They jumped on Trump to secure the area. And I'm going to actually kick it here to Sean Hannity, who is pretty lucky because he was supposed to have been golfing with Donald Trump. He turned it down, and then he heard this update. It looks like he spoke with both Donald Trump and Steve Witkoff, who was accompanying him. Take a listen to what Sean Hannity had to say about that.
Anyway, so long story short is President Trump, they were on the 5th hole. They were about to go up to putt. And the way Steve Witkoff, now, just as a little bit of background, Arthel, I happened to go to breakfast with Steve Witkoff and another friend of mine this morning. And I was invited to play golf. They happen to be really good golfers. I don't have a lot of time to play golf, so I said thank you, but I'm not going to go out on the golf course and get killed out there. But long story short, so they were playing, they were on the 5th hole. And the way Steve described this, the way the president described it, they both had exactly the same story, which was that they heard pop, 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 pop. And Steve went into great specificity and great detail as to what happened right after. Within seconds, the Secret Service pounced on the president, covered him. You had snipers with tripods. They knew the direction where the shots had been fired, and they had eyes on the location where the shots had been fired. And long story short, they were I have confirmed with both the president and with Mr. Witkoff that the gun has been found. They identified it as an AK-47. And thanks to Secret Service drone video coverage, they were able to identify one individual involved in this shooting getting into a car after dropping the AK-47.
Okay.
And
okay, so let's pull out of here. What is the first thing that jumps at you when you hear that story? Because for me, I just went, how did they know that Trump was golfing? Right, Trump has not put that out publicly. This was not some part of his schedule, which was announced to the public. So this means that this individual had insider information. In fact, Trump had just flown in from the West Coast because he was doing events out in Utah. And suddenly he's golfing. He's got plans to golf with Steve Witkoff and potentially some other buddies who turned him down, like Sean Hannity. And this individual not only knew that Donald Trump was golfing, but knew that he would be coming up upon the fifth hole. Because according to AP News, and I have not been to this particular golf club, I don't golf, but apparently that is actually a vulnerable spot in terms of security. So this person had insider knowledge, okay, that Trump was going to be golfing on that morning, that specific time that Donald Trump was going to be golfing, okay? They knew he would be coming upon the fifth hole, and they were familiar with the layout, and knew that the fifth hole was a vulnerable spot. Instantly, this signals to me that this individual was in contact with somebody on the inside. That's the conspiracy you're not allowed to say. I don't care. I don't believe in conspiracies. Okay, I'm a Catholic. I believe in providence. Okay, this person knew that Donald Trump was going to be a sitting duck and was hoping that no one would spot him through the clearing as he began to set up for a shot on President Trump. So what happened thereafter? Yes, it has been confirmed that the AK-47, it's being alleged it's an AK-47, definitely a semi-automatic rifle of some description, plus a GoPro camera has been recovered. Apparently, the shooter also had a backpack, and he had laid these things out. And I can actually show you this photo of his backpack, and then you can see another bag. He laid it onto the fence. And then once the Secret Service spotted him, and like I said, it sounds like the Secret Service were the ones who fired the 4 shots, he then put down his semi-automatic rifle, jumped into an awaiting Nissan, okay? So this guy had an exit plan. He also had a GoPro. This signals to me that he was going to record in some capacity him having killed Trump. Why would he be doing that? Who was he going to send that to? Whose instructions was he operating on when he did this? And then he was ready to get away in a Nissan, okay? They were able to, just as you heard Sean Hannity describe, quickly apprehend the suspect, which is a good thing. The Martin County Sheriff William Snyder, county sheriff, his name is William Schneider, told the news stations that the suspect was taken into custody without the firearm, obviously because he left it on the side. And they obviously knew that they had the right guy because when they arrested him, he didn't have any emotion. So that's completely crazy. You get pulled over, they've got guns trained on you, and this guy had absolutely no emotion. Take a listen.
We whisked nobody away. There was a lone driver in the vehicle. That driver is now in custody and in the hands of the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
What was his demeanor, Sheriff, when you approached the car?
The suspect's demeanor I would describe as having a relative